GTA Vice City, like other installments of the series, has undergone various changes throughout the entire development process. It is true that this excellent production did not have such an abundant metamorphosis as GTA 3 or San Andreas, but it undoubtedly went through a lot. Today, we will focus on what we love the most, that is, the plot of the game. We will try to present you a few different curiosities that we managed to find about how the missions selected for the video were originally intended to look like. Due to the fact that the collected material is quite large, we will divide it into two parts. If you will like today's episode, we would be very glad to prepare a second part for you in the future. We will start today's video with a mission that is a kind of introduction to the whole game. Originally, more dialogue lines were supposed to appear in the mission called In the Beginning. First of all, the creators withheld from us quite valuable information about the activities of the Vance brothers. Thanks to this information, we learn that the Vance brothers did not spend 2 years in Vice City between 84 and 86, or between the events of GTA Vice City Stories and Vice City. Namely, as it turns out, the men decided to expand their activities outside the city, thus choosing Mexico, which is a very good place when it comes to drugs production. What's more, as you can see in the attached picture, originally the dialogue between the characters not only supplemented the information about the Vance brothers, but also added something to the situation in which the participants of the exchange found themselves.
I poked my head out of the gutter for 1 freaking second and fate shovels shit in my face.
Go get some sleep. I'll drop by your office tomorrow and we can start sorting this mess out.
Okay, so they're brothers, okay? One operates the business and the other one does the flying. Right? Okay, stay tight, let's go.
I poked my head out of the gutter for 1 freaking second and fate shovels shit in my face.
Go get some sleep.
What are you gonna do?
I'll drop by your office tomorrow and we can start sorting this mess out.
Moving on, the scene of Tommy being taken to the alley may also be a big surprise. Certainly, what is very eye-catching is that Rosenberg, instead of running out of the car, decides to drive off.
Sorting this mess out.
That's because his office was located somewhere else. Out of smaller curiosities, it turns out that when comparing the beta and alpha versions, some details have changed slightly. Namely, in the beta version, the suitcases had a lighter shade. In addition, the money that was on the table at Marco's Bistro was not wrapped in blue tape and was placed a bit differently. Well, in the beta version, the few files of cash were closer to the edge of the table, and in the final version, they are more in the middle. Meanwhile, let's go to the mission called The Party. Additional dialogue has been cut in this quest as well. It concerns a situation where we see a motorcycle approaching near Raphael's clothing shop.
Nice bike.
Initially, after Tommy noticed the bike, there was supposed to be a dialogue between the bike driver and some random girl.
Wow, I really dig your motorcycle.
Yeah, babe. Just picked it up from Helen Pete's.
What are you looking at?
Another mission for Ken Rosenberg called Back Alley Brawl has more changes within it. Originally, during this quest, Lance Vance was supposed to introduce Tommy Vercetti to the Pole Position Strip Club, which, as we know, we'll not experience in the final version of the game.
Every man needs a little R&R once in a while. This here is the Pole Position Strip Club. You might want to drop in sometime.
What is definitely worth mentioning when talking about cut content is that at some point in the story, the player was to receive one of the deleted phone missions, ordered by the mysterious Mr. Moffat. During the conversation, it turned out that the men knew each other in the past. Moffat wanted to ask Vercetti to do him a favor. Namely, he got into trouble and needed immediate help. What we can learn from the conversation itself is that Moffat was in some shithole, as he said. Who knows, maybe it was Gator Keys, which, from the point of view of the beta game, is an extremely interesting location. Unfortunately, these are only guesses, because there are many possibilities here. It is also unknown where we should take Moffat to afterwards. For now, we're going further, and this time we'll discuss another of the deleted phone missions, in this case from Avery Carrington. After we received a call from Avery, we had to go to the mysterious Gator Keys to deliver the representative of his that we were picking up from the construction site. It is difficult to say what the next outline of this task was to be, but the mission itself, once again, confirms that Gator Keys was meant to be in Vice City area. Another difference we'll go through is the reordering of tasks for Avery. Namely, it looks like the 2-bit hit mission was originally supposed to take place before Demolition Man. As we know, it looks a bit different in the final version. Also, in the mission itself, one line of dialogue has been removed that tells us the name of the Haitian boss whom we are to kill. Besides that, comparing the first cutscene with Carrington on the PS2 and PC versions, it turns out that the dialogue was supposed to be longer, but it was censored.
You getting this down, you four-eyed prick? Now, recently a Haitian gang lord died. Apparently the Cubans did it. Nobody's certain, but let's make them certain. You disguise yourself as a Cuban hombre and head on down and crash that funeral. Mix it up, and then hightail it. You getting this down, you four-eyed prick? Now, recently a gang lord died. You disguise yourself and head on down and crash the funeral. Mix it up, and then hightail it.
Additionally, after this mission, we were supposed to receive a completely different phone call from Umberto Robina than in the final version. Due to the fact that Leo Teal is not mentioned there, the phone call was most likely cut after the developers were having this character in mind. And, on the contrary, Umberto mentions Haitians there, so it's another reason this phone call was changed due to censorship. Let's see what it looks like.
Hello, is this Mr. Tommy Versetti?
Yeah.
Well, I hear through the minor grapes you are the man when someone's got a vermin infestation.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I got a real vermin infestation. Haitians everywhere. My name is Humberto Rubina, and I want you to meet me at the Cafe Rubina as soon as you can. Because I tell you, these damn Haitians have gone too far this time. Hey, Leo, I got some work for you.
This ain't Leo.
Hey, if Leo knows you got his phone, he's gonna kill you.
Maybe Leo's already dead. Maybe I killed Leo and took his phone. Did you ever think of that, prick?
You kill Leo? You must have big cojones. Wanna work for me? Come by my father's cafe in Little Havana, and we'll talk mano y mano.
Moving on, time for a mission where we meet the famous drug baron Ricardo Diaz. It is during the task called Guardian Angels, where Lance was originally supposed to react in case the player delayed getting on the roof or injured him.
What's the matter with you, man? Get on the roof across the yard before they show up. Damn, what you trying to do, kill me?
In addition, in one of Diaz's statements where he orders a Haitian to be chased on a motorcycle, the word Haitian has been censored.
Don't just stand there, you pricks! Chase that Haitian dickhead down!
Tommy, I'll stay here and watch over Diaz.
Don't just stand there, you pricks! Chase that dickhead down!
And finally, it looks like there was an alternative phone call from Ricardo Diaz after this mission.
Hey, Tommy, man. Well, you not love Ricardo no more? Come see me, man. I got some good shit going down.
In the next mission for Colonel Cortez, we have another deleted phone call. Unfortunately, we do not have an audio version for it, but from what we can see, it was supposed to be about asking if Cortez finally managed to find the perpetrators of the failed drug deal from the beginning of the game. Of course, the answer was what each of us would expect after going through the thread with Colonel Cortez. In short, no one knows anything, no one has heard of anything. The next, and unfortunately the last mission for Colonel Cortez, where we can find the differences, is the mission called All Hands on Deck. Here, Cortez and his sailors were supposed to have a line of dialogue, which we will now hear.
Mercedes, that girl will be the death of me.
Oh, here he comes again! Oh! Oh, Tommy, take that chopper out! Oh! He's coming again! Oh! Blow that chopper! Look at the size of that chopper!
Regarding Cortez's line, unfortunately, we have no idea when exactly it was supposed to be said. Another very important moment is carrying out tasks for Ricardo Diaz, which are particularly important from the point of view of today's topic, because we will also find many deleted dialogues there. In the second mission for Ricardo Diaz, it is worth mentioning that initially in the beta version of the game, Tommy Versetti had the opportunity to get a side task, which was to shoot down the lights from buoys. this can be seen in the following footage.
You ever fire one of those from a whirly? No, I'll get a bit of practice on the way, though. See those marker buoys? Try taking out the light. You ever fire one of those from a whirly? No, I'll get a bit of practice on the way, though.
Funny enough, according to the game files, Lance was supposed to mention Kenny Loggins while saying the phrase music. This might suggest that one of his songs could appear in the final product. Probably, many of you remember the two lads from GTA San Andreas called Jethro and Dwayne. They were supposed to physically appear in the fastest boat mission, but the idea was probably lifted because if they were killed by the player, then we wouldn't be able to meet them in the boatyard while buying it. And at the end of the material, we'll go to the mission called Supply and Demand, which also has quite a lot of dialogues removed and even an unused cutscene.
We made it! Those other boats aren't VIP class! That's the last of them. I'm gonna start her up. I think we got some new friends.
And here we'll wrap up today's video. We encourage you to watch the episode about the origins of Lance Vance's betrayal and invite you to completely new episodes soon. Take care and see you in the next one.